I don't like electric cars.
Why not?
I just don't like electric cars.
Why not, dude?
I just don't mind electric cars.
Because they don't have an exhaust? All right.
I want to go to a different car show.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Kenny. This is Chris. We hope you've had a great week. Stephanie's over there behind the computer doing all these buttons and making all that stuff happen. So this is the American Car Classics Radio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all are doing fabulous. It's a beautiful day here in southern Brevard County.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Loving it. Soon it's going to go away, though.
It's going to be hot.
And we're going to be melting.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
But we'll enjoy it, and we'll take it when we got it.
Yeah, it happens that way. It happens that way. We've had an interesting week. We went out, Chris. We went out Monday after work. We went and looked at a car.
We did, yeah.
We talked a little bit about that, I think, last week, and we don't know if we've made a decision yet or not. You're kind of on the fence about it. I want to talk a little bit about this because.
So, for those that don't know, we as in American Car Classics Radio, ACCR, are looking at buying our first project car. And that car is a what?
A 1976 L48. Four-speed, 350 Corvette.
So it's the last year of the Stingray before the.
It is a Stingray T-top.
Yep.
Got the luggage rack on the back.
You're not a fan of the luggage rack. I am a fan of it. I
like debadging stuff. I like to strip them down, kind of murder them out a little bit. It's kind of like where I'd like to go.
It depends on the car for me if I do that.
Yeah.
Something that's iconic as a Stingray. I typically kind of leave that kind of stuff on there. But it's a really good deal. There's just some apprehension there.
I would leave the Stingray on that certainly because it's the last year of it and it does add a value to the car.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at this car was that we talked about that it originally came out to us as an offer of $7,500. The customer came back and said, "Hey, I'll sell it to you guys. I really want you guys to do this. I want to be able to watch it get built, and I know it's going to get done right." $4,500 on my bottom offer. We went out looking at it, thinking, "Hey, you know what, man? Anybody could make money on a C3 for $4,500."
Yep.
And we probably could. Maybe it becomes a project that the buyer wants to do more to over at Dolphin Auto.
And that's kind of that's what I think.
Right.
Sell it to somebody who wants to restore it.
Right.
But sell it in a driving, they can enjoy it now fashion.
Right. So I think the biggest kicker almost for me is the unknown about the headlights, but I don't think the fix is massive, but it adds to the what else is going to be wrong. We didn't even drive it.
No, there was an issue with the shifter.
Yeah, it wouldn't go back in reverse. I felt a pop, which is probably a spring release. You're supposed to, when you put them in reverse, that's when you're able to take the key out. I was able to take the key out anyway, which means it's stuck like it thinks it's in reverse. I did put the clutch in and it did roll forward and stop for a second, but brakes aren't locked or whatever. It's been sitting kind of for 2 years. Went in and offered him $3,500 and he came back fair, $3,750. That's a buy, but I just don't know how much of what. So we haven't made the deal, and we're still talking about what we think we need to do to it to just have it be the first one that ACCR, Chris and I have put together and done and made it work, and we'll just see what happens with that. So we'll keep you informed and let you know how it goes. But for these guys, you guys that are out there watching, I want to know, when have you backed out of a deal? Like when did you go look at a car and you understood the purchase price, you'd seen some pictures, you've gone and looked at it. What kicked you away from buying a car? What scared you? I'd like to know in the comments if you could please just
absolutely
tell us what scared you.
There's a lot of things that scare a lot of people, a lot of different things that scare me.
All right. Hey, so we're on the fence about that. We're going to figure out what goes on. And but
we will keep you updated on our decision going forward. But this nice weather, I wanted to say this before we get away from it.
Yeah.
You said it last week that it's car show season.
It is.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun for the younger audience as well. And there was a little boy that was at a car show, and I sent you a video to it.
Yeah.
And so he's walking around, and he sees this electric vehicle, and he doesn't know it's electric. And he walks around the back there. I'll show it to you. And look, he just like, no, I don't like electric cars. And he wanted to leave the car show immediately.
electric cars.
Why not?
I don't like electric cars.
Why not, dude?
I just don't mind electric cars.
Because they don't have an exhaust? All right.
I want to go to a different car show.
He saw there was no exhaust, and he's like, I don't like electric cars.
Yeah.
I don't like electric cars. His dad was laughing.
Yeah. What's the matter with this one, kid?
He's like, I don't like electric. That's all he said. He's like, why not? He's like, I just don't like electric cars.
He said, you want to go to another car show, don't you? He's like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I want to go to another car show.
Yeah. But when they fired him up, a couple of them might have had those little boom, boom sounds out of the
Like
whatever.
the new Charger. Oh, man, that is. It's funny. Like, after I talked about it last week, it's all over the internet now. People making fun.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm a trendsetter or not. I doubt it. This channel ain't big enough. But
No.
yeah, if the channel was, I would say everybody got it from me and everybody started making fun. I said it last week. So.
Love that. No, it is car show season. We've got notice from Joe Rodriguez and Tony out at Ford's Garage that they both have committed to a couple new shows that they're going to. They've asked us to participate in. The first one is going to be May 4th, and that's the second one. I guess the first one is April 6th. That's going to be at Urban Prime. That's right, in Vieira, and that's going to be with cars and Space Coast Cars and Motorcycles.
Yes, and we're going to try to do a live one.
We're going to be there, and we're going to be recording and doing, whether we go live or get it on our cameras and then bring it back and post edit and stuff. But we're going to try to see how it goes on an outside event with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so we're going to try to go live for you guys. And we're just car dudes, so wish us well and keep us in your prayers.
So we've got the second one coming up back at Ford's Garage, and that's going to be on May 4th, and that's Sunday. That's from 8 to 10:30, just like last time. And I imagine that that's only the second one that blew us out of the water with people.
Yeah.
I imagine that I can't wait to see what happens. May, you run into...
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, that's the first thing Tony said to me.
Star Wars cars out there.
Their pamphlet, their flyer has
Vader and all
some
that.
Star Wars stuff on there, so...
We'll see. I hope
Yeah.
Can we
it's...
dress up?
I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not? Yeah, this is my Darth Vader imitation. Okay.
Nice. Very good. You did well.
Anyway, we've got we've had a good week over at Dolphin Auto. This is Thursday, the 13th. 13th, yep. So good thing it's not the 12th because tomorrow would be the 13th. So we've got an 82 Corvette over there that was a crossfire injection that we got rid of that crap and put a nice carbon intake on.
What's wrong with crossfire injection?
Everything. They did
it for a couple years.
I really think that 82 was maybe 81. And Clay, you know anything about that? The crossfire injection on the Corvettes, 82 only or 81 as well?
It's when they started the C4s, right?
It's just junk. It just never did good. It just didn't have any. It didn't roll any kind of torque through the motor. They were dogs. They're already trying to start be smogged out, again. So it just wasn't. It just didn't fly. It just wasn't good. So we went to a carburetor and a aluminum intake and stainless exhaust so I could breathe. Sounds healthy, does good. And for a low horsepower motor, it still sounds good going down the road, and it's not going to break any speed records, whatever. But he has brought it in, and we're doing a full AC revamp on it. It's a factory AC car, but we're going to do a whole new AC system on that. And we got a call from this woman from, hey, you know what? Pamela Anderson called us. I'm not even bullshitting you. I'm not even bullshitting you.
He's not.
Yep.
Not that Pamela.
Not that Pamela Anderson.
But
This one's about 90. Now
Pamela Anderson.
Yep. So she owns a 65 Ford Mustang convertible
Okay.
that she had restored 25 years ago
Okay.
by, and Roy would know whom, but by one of the top, I think it's Mark something or other, and he's a top Mustang restoration guy. And it lasted for a long, long time. It's here on the river, man. It's on the beach, whatever. It's I think it's even on satellite, Chris. And it's kind of, so a lot of, it happens. It happens. Even a car in your garage sitting for that long, not doing shows and being tendered and everything else, it has rust on the bottom of every panel.
She wants it fixed.
She wants to do the whole car again. We told her, there's that number again, $25,000. And she said, yeah, when can I bring it? And we're like, no, I don't want. I've got so many going on. We're doing so much stuff going on. So she really was insistent on bringing it over. And so I've told her bring it over on the 17th. And we'll get it up on the rack, and we'll start making a big list. And we'll start clearing off one wall of the garage to start putting parts as they come in.
That's that where we talked about it's cheaper to buy than build. This was going to be one of those. She could buy another 65 Mustang for cheaper than she's about to sink into this car.
I think this has a little bit of Roy was pretty high on this car. I think there's something special about the motor package. I think there's something about some options on it. Makes it one of not many, apparently. Maybe very early 65, as the first year was 64.5. 65 is a very desirable year. Being convertible, maybe that helps it a lot. But Roy seems to think that this is a $50,000 to $60,000 car.
Really?
With all of it going on. If you do them and you bring them to Barrett, you're getting good. Meekum is getting strong money for them. So I don't know. She wants to put the money into it.
It's her money.
We want to build the car.
It's your money. You do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is...
Speaking of people spending their money,
yeah,
in my opinion, but you know, when you get enough money, you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
But with my
I hate you, but yeah.
with our budget, it's just silly. You sent me that truck with turbos sticking so far out of the hood. So I looked it up.
Okay.
He's a YouTuber called Whistling Diesel.
Okay.
Right. Very, very popular. He's got like 10 million followers.
Ugh.
This video that he put 17 turbos on this Ram Cummins turbo diesel.
Come on. Here we go. Oh,
Maybe one's like in the middle.
Maybe he likes
Yeah,
odd
maybe
numbers.
one's the nose or something, but
Maybe he likes odd numbers. I like odd numbers.
I like 3 and 7. I mean, that's all great numbers and stuff, but
But anyway, I'm sure everybody's already seen this video, and we're not telling you anything new.
Yeah, you're
about
looking-
cars, especially if you follow cars. You know Whistling Diesel, and you've probably seen this truck. It's had like 3 million views in like the first day on this video.
wow.
But yeah, this truck was ridiculous until I knew it was him because all he does is destroy stuff. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Who would do it and why?
Yeah, I think he ended up getting a total of 8 horsepower gain out of that. I'm more impressed.
That's ridiculous.
I'm more impressed that Cummins didn't blow a manifold.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. Like,
Yeah.
man, that is a tough engine because I think Diesel tried to destroy that diesel, and Cummins just lasted.
Yeah.
But it was
Isn't that
like-
crazy?
And then, did I show you the one with the Miata?
I think you did, sticking out of the hood.
I don't know. how
It
many
looked
turbos-
like it was front heavy. It was like it's just going to tip over like the Flintstones car on the side when you put the beef on there at the drive-through.
I don't know if that one moves. I couldn't do any more research on that one. I don't know if it moves or not. But that it had giant turbos on it.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was kind of silly.
Yeah. Kind of ridiculous what they do. We just went
Especially with a
to...
little car like that.
Yeah.
And it looked like the back wheels were just
Right.
not going to hit the ground
Right.
at all. So.
And maybe when you take off, they pull back some and give you some traction. There certainly is a lot of weight on it from what it looked like with a lot of overkill of stuff. But was it all real? Is it going to do it? It wasn't AI, but was it?
No.
Is it actually something that's running and all that? Yeah, it's crazy. So
Yeah, you got it. Have you seen a video of it driving?
No.
yeah, it's an old rotary engine style, man. It's crazy.
Well, I know the Mazda RX 7s, I think RX 8s had them, the rotary motors.
Yeah. 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 So we went to Gainesville last weekend and the Gator Nationals, NHRI drag racing, and never saw a single car run rained out and everything else. But I do see, as we talk about manifolds popping off from pressure, they do break. They go so far as to have aluminum studs so that there's a shear point. They don't damage the intake if you just shear a stud. So that was their answer to knowing that it's going to pop. So let's just put something that's going to break evenly that lets them separate that we could put it back together at least without damaging everything part wise.
I mean, as many motors as they break,
Yeah.
you think they would kind of have a process in place for that, right?
Yeah, I loved it. I got to show Tiana that there are blankets on the transmission, on the rear end, everywhere, scatter, shield stuff, diapers for fluid and everything else. They really go all out on technology for safety and not slowing the race down should you be the one that blows up.
Pay for them, though. Oh, I should have brought this up with the lady in the Mustang.
Okay.
Now, it's a Ford.
It is.
But a lot of you probably don't know this, and I think it's a genius move. Chevrolet has come out with a program they call Chevrolet Vintage.
I read about this too.
And I think it's a genius move. So what it is where you can, if you have an older classic Chevrolet, you can get a factory level restoration. Like it just came off the showroom floor, brand new car, or resto mod if you choose.
Right.
Right now, it's not available in the United States. It's only available in Brazil. I think they're trying to test it out in a certain market to see how well it does. I personally think it's a genius move simply because car prices, as you know, we've talked about, have gone through the roof. Car reliability went skyrocketing as far as like unreliability has skyrocketed along with the price. So they're more expensive to buy and they're more expensive to repair, and you got to repair them far more often. So if you have an old car like that lady does and you love it, why not spend the money to keep your old car on the road versus spending $100,000 on something that's going to be in the shop for 10 times in the first 2 years of its life? I think it's a genius idea.
I want to know what they're doing for warranties. I want to know what kind of overall cost. What are they putting under the labor rate to bring a car in? Do they have the facilities? I mean, this is a lot. Now, yes, GM has employees. They have engineers. They have everything. I mean, they can put a 6.2, a 6. They can do a 5. They can, mix and match. The products are endless to their demand of what they want to do and everything else. At what cost is a restoration going to get done? We're just about done with this MGA, and it's going to be a fun little show. But we're not upside down on the car. What Dolphin Auto and Collision does is we do it actually pretty affordable for the most part. Most people would tell you that if you go in to do a restoration, you're going to be upside down on the worth of the vehicle, almost guaranteed. Yep. This is why we do the whole thing about, is it cheaper to buy it built?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that dealerships' labor are through the roof, 180, 240 in that ballpark for labor rate. What are they going to charge to custom build? This is fixing stuff that they've already built and whatever, and engineered and everything. Now they're coming in with your ideas that you want to do. Is it all going to be only their headers?
I don't know. The resto mod side of the house, I think, can get very pricey.
Yeah.
If you're looking to do a factory restoration, like it was when it was new, I think that's going to be on the more affordable side because that's parts they already have.
Yeah, but are they going to buy?
They've made for years.
No, but are they going to put a roll cage in for you? Do they have that technology? Are they going to be there for that? Or are they going to sub that stuff out? Is there limitations on how far they can go? Are they going to do mini tubs?
I'm sure they do have a limitation on it. They're not going to build a race car.
Well, I think that their test market's going to learn a lot about it. I'm interested to follow it and see where it goes.
When I say resto mod, I mean to the point where you get digital gauges versus analog gauges. If it had a 4-speed and you want an automatic, an 8-speed automatic, right? I want the new LS versus the old 327, whatever it was, 305.
Yeah, no, all of that.
So I think that's what they mean by resto mod. I don't think they mean like we're going to turn this into a race car, resto mod.
So yeah, I'm curious to see what goes from this. I'm not a fan of this. Well, because I'm in a business and they're trying to take my business.
Well,
I'm right out the gate, right there. Let's talk about, another competitor who's got a huge leg over me. They're nationwide. They're huge. Their name is synonymous for 100 years.
Yeah. But I think there's enough love to go around.
Yeah, I believe that. When this guy Ian came in from down south, Delray Beach, and money and all this, and he bought the old Route 1 Motorsports building right a mile and a half up the road from me. He came by. He saw the cars out front and everything. This is probably 6 years ago. He says, "Hey man, my name's Ian. Good to meet you. I just bought that building, and man, I feel like I'm kind of stepping on your toes moving in this area." I'm like, "Why? What are you going to do with that place?" He's like, "Oh, we're doing a lot of we do restorations. We do all this, and lot of custom builds. I said, well, who's your customer? Because you're moving in from Delray. You're shipping the cars up here for customers there. He said, no, we're pretty much internet bound. I said, what is your restoration? What are you building? He's saying, 50 to 80, maybe 100, 110. That's where about the range that we're building these on. I said, you're not my competitor. I'm doing for people right here, and I'm doing 30 to 50 to 60,000. I did one at 68. One at 42. So we're not in the same ballpark.
And I think it's going to be the same way with the Chevrolet vintage Chevy Vintage is what I think it's called. Because I wouldn't be a customer with Pearl through Chevy Vintage because I've already done so much. I just need odds and ends here and there.
Right.
So I would go to somebody like you. I would not send that all the way to Chevy to get all that kind of stuff.
Well, will they be a partial shop? Will they bring it in and do a set of headers?
I'm sure they would. Well,
will they do a paint job?
I don't know that. I think it would be cost prohibitive for that. Paint job, 100%. I believe they would absolutely do a paint job because they have the boost, they have the paint.
Yeah,
it doesn't take them anything to shoot a car.
I was going to say, as much as they can get out and do, but do they have bodymen?
But I don't.
Do they know how to work in Bondo? They're all working brand new metal.
Here's the other thing: if you send in your old truck that has dents, they're probably just going to change the bed.
Right.
And
then what cost? Right. What cost is this?
It would be a lot faster for them. It's more cost effective for them, probably for you to pay for a new bed versus all the body work, depending on how much body work. If you got rust, I'm just going to get a new panel.
Is General Motors going to sit there and accept somebody that wants to come in and dicker with them? I mean, no, this is what we deal with.
That.
I can get it on Amazon a lot cheaper. You're trying to sell it to me there, Mr. GM. I'd like to maybe go buy that and send you them wires. Let me just get your address. I'll get them XL wires, bring them to you.
And this is
I can see it.
They're not stealing your business.
Right.
If the people want to do that, they're going to go to you, and they're not going to go to Chevy.
No.
But I think it's a good idea. And I think it's genius on GM's part simply because you have people like me who are not going to buy a new truck. If I had an old truck that I would like, I have a friend who has a C10, and he has it like factory, footprint and layout and all that. It looks like it, and he likes that look, where mine doesn't look factory whatsoever.
Nope.
And I think his would have been an ideal candidate. We have to get him on the show one day. It was his dad's. His dad bought it brand new.
It's one of him and his kid are doing. Is that right? His
he did it. Yeah, his mom got T-boned in it and pretty much almost ruined it. They almost had to scrap the whole truck. Man.
Yeah.
He went and found a frame. And so he'd have been an ideal candidate for it. It's fixed now, but had it not been fixed and it existed, and they told him $20,000, we can give you your dad's truck back. Okay. Sold.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's an ideal customer that they would not have had otherwise.
Yeah, true that. True.
So, and they would have probably done it for a lot cheaper than you could have done it because you had to source frames and body panels and all.
Oh, absolutely.
They have it done fast.
Well, we've got overhead, we got markup, we've got all that. So they're in the garage, they're just having fun. That's when you do
the planet for everybody.
Absolutely. Look, we get projects that have come in and they want us to fish them for them. We painted a car a couple weeks ago, and his daughter took it through the car wash.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Scratched the shit out of it.
Yep.
Scratched. I mean, they called the police. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd they scratch it?
The brushes.
The rolling one that goes over the bumper.
Is that what it was? I haven't seen it yet, but you talked to them, Stephanie. So
yeah. So I believe it's the one that when it goes over, and then it goes around and then hits the bumper. I think it hit the bumper and.
Scratched it.
Yeah. So when I talked to them, they were sitting at the car wash waiting for the cops to come.
Yeah, I just wanted. I'm not a fan of people taking them to these car washes, especially right after fresh paint. I certainly am saying the paint was cured and done. This was several weeks after painted, maybe even a month. But I hate that this was a very cheap paint job as far as paint jobs go. He did all the body work. He brought it in. We shot it in a day, out in a day. So we did it cheap, but it's a problem now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a scratch on the clear?
I haven't seen it yet. They're going to bring it up and all of that. So we're going to find out.
Wow.
We're going to find out.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. He brought all his own product and everything else. We ended up not using it, had him take that. We do like to use our own product. I'm not a body guy, but owning the shop that has this now going on, I've learned quite a bit. You have to become a sponge when you get into this industry. I've learned a lot about their different kinds of everything. You can go really PPG or a matrix or whatever type of paint. But clear, there's stuff that car lots use. They call it a car lot clear, and it's an MS 42, I think it is. It's not great. It doesn't last for a long time. If you build up a lot of layers on it, it'll turn yellow. They'll separate in the hot Florida sun with the UVs. So we use a high-end clear. I really don't even have that. I have this stuff that's called Quick Clear that dries in 15 minutes. That's good for spots. I learned that from Todd Byron. But otherwise, I think we're only using a high-end clear now because we have to apply the layers high enough to get that good build and hold for Florida. So I don't think we're doing that car lot clear stuff anymore. But yeah, it's a difference for everything. And I'm curious to see, like you were very curious. I mean, like where did it scratch? How? What? Yeah. I'm curious to see. I haven't even seen it. I just got a phone call and you ran the phone out. We talked for a second. Then that was all I knew.
Yeah, because I mean, people go through those car washes all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
I know brushless is far more popular now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the technology and the fans and everything else that's happened, the sprayers and all this stuff, you just can do with it so much more.
Yep. But so we were talking about how the new Charger has that stupid speaker.
Yeah.
And everybody's making fun of it.
Yeah.
So I got a little, as soon as you Google something, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. Anyway, apparently, the rumor's been that Dodge is going to bring back the Hemi because they killed, for those you don't know,
Right.
they killed the Hemi for this Hurricane Inline 6 or whatever it was, 6-cylinder, which on paper sounded amazing, but they've been grenading themselves, bearings and just going out. Anyway, they're talking about bringing back the Hemi. They got rid of the TRX.
Okay.
They had gotten rid of that, which was like a $120,000 truck, and they were being replaced by the RHO, which had that Hurricane engine in it, right? So now rumor is they want to bring back the TRX as well. Now I wonder how the people who have a TRX, and they bought it last year because this is the last TRX you can buy, and so they paid up for it. They probably paid well over sticker for the TRXs.
Yeah, and now you're going to bring another one out.
You're going to bring them right back.
Now, if you miss a year, then maybe there's a big model change, and maybe it makes it. But no, I'd be upset. I'd be upset. This
Especially
is
if you bought it as an investment.
Yeah, which people do.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I'd never seen the Rebel. I saw that one down their neighborhood, and I talked to you about it, and you said, "Oh, I wanted one." Now that I recognize this, I've seen more of them.
Yeah,
I do like them.
Yeah, I like the Rebels.
They're
good half-ton pickup. But yeah, those TRXs. I could never afford one, and I don't know if I would buy one. It seems over the top for me, for the type of person I am.
Well, is it for that year and that limited production and everything else? It is, but for the people that said, I'm buying this because this is the last year, and then you go and do that, there has to be some liability somewhere. There's a something. Ford maybe says, look, I'll buy it back, or Dodge, but I mean, no. I don't know. No,
I'm just gonna tell them sorry, so sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm sure they didn't sign a piece of paper, saying, oh, then make sure that you don't make these for, like when you buy a business from somebody, you have a no compete clause for 3 years, 4 years, right? I'm sure Dodge is say, oh, we promise we won't make any more.
I don't know anybody ever asked. I mean, you just take them on their word.
That's it. They obviously didn't make any for 2025.
Okay.
They probably won't bring them back in 26. I think it's a little too.
Well, then
soon.
I think a couple years down the road, I think you're fine with that. And I still had the last year of the first model year or something, the first run.
I don't know. I think if I had paid that kind of money,
you wanted to be the last one.
I'd be one salty son of a bitch. This me.
I love the older cars, man. I love. I know this new technology is out there. I know it all. I love the idea of taking an old body off of a new car and doing that whole swap and just having a body sitting on the old classic body with everything new, brand new, everything, whatever. I get it. We all love the creature comforts. If we had to go back to tube TVs where we had no 1080p, no 720, I mean, you didn't have little worm lines going from your antenna. You had to get up and change the channels. I understand.
Yeah.
But when we got in the car, it was magic. It was magic.
Lucy still doesn't have AC, right?
No, she never will.
Never will.
No, they're not even a vintage air unit. No, we're gonna take Lucy and we're gonna and it was so fun at the car show at Ford's Garage to have the stickers out. I've never had the stickers out next to her. I've never offered them for other people, and I just loved that they took them, knowing that they'd just seen the car. This is so cool. It's just
they did, and so we have several different types of stickers now, and that was by far the most popular.
It was funny.
Yeah,
It was funny to
most
see.
popular one.
Yeah, it makes you think about what we're going to redo.
Yeah,
you know?
something like with the QR code on it, and nobody cared about that. I want the one with the Lucy on it.
Yeah.
I told you we got to get some made up with Pearl on one side and Lucy on the other.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, pretty soon we're going to have fat heads, and it's going to be you and me or something like that. We're going to have fat heads and stuff,
I don't
whatever
think
going on.
anybody's going to want those.
No?
No.
Get me a bobblehead and I'll just flick it
There you
every
go.
time he makes me mad in the office.
Oh, my gosh. Bobbleheads. You ever see yourself on a bobblehead, Chris? You ever think that'd be something?
Oh.
I do now. Until this conversation, no, I never envisioned myself.
That's too cool. No, we just got to see where it goes. But we talked last weekend about Lucy getting new suspension, everything up front. We are going to do the core support, and I have got this new motor coming in, and we're going to do, I think I'll keep the 700R4 in it maybe, but I maybe a 4L60. But but we're going to keep the patina on it. I'm going to fix the rust in the bottom fenders and a little bit in the door and stuff like that. And we're going to try to match that patina in those areas and not paint the car.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I like it.
I want to leave her like she is. I think that's what separates her from a restored car.
Yeah.
I don't care what the engine bay looks like. I'm going to open it up right now. You open it up, it looks like the motor's been in there for 17 years. It's just incredible how we did that.
Yeah.
But we're going to redo it to where it's beautiful. When you open it up, this ugly oyster shell is just going to
Have a pearl
in the middle there. So.
Pearl.
Oh, right.
Speaking of Pearl, I'm getting ready to pull the bed on Pearl at home.
Oh yeah, you've got a little upgrade in the garage.
Yeah, I bought an overhead electric crane.
Yep.
And I mounted it to the ceiling in my shop. And
How hard was it to mount?
it was kind of a pain. I did it now before it really got hot because the attic was pretty warm.
Okay.
Even already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a 4x4 in between two trusses, and I ran a 2x4 over that along three trusses with the big bolts going all the way through.
Oh.
And then L bracketed the 4x4 into
Yeah.
the trusses as well.
Have you Googled to see what a long bed weighs?
They say about anywhere from 3 to 350 pounds.
That's not a ton.
No.
When you're spreading the weight off across three different trusses, you're plenty good, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
So when you-
it picked me up.
So what are you going to do when you? Wait a minute. It's electric. It's got a
It's
control.
electric. Yep.
So did you? I want to know. You're in the garage.
Oh, man.
Did you strap this to
I did,
yourself?
not to my belt. So it came with straps. Right?
Yeah.
So I just stood in them.
Okay.
Balanced myself. So
Now, if you came out, one of the kids or Marcia or somebody come in there,
I
and
would
go,
have
Chris, what are you?
Yeah.
Chris?
Are you flying now?
I'm Peter Pan.
I'm an
No,
angel.
that's awesome.
No, but that's gonna be fun. So I crawled underneath Pearl last night and I loosened all 8 bolts.
Okay.
So they're all loose. So
When the bed is off, what are you doing?
I'm doing so I have 2 tanks. And I'm gonna do both sending units. I'm gonna change out fuel lines and wires. All the wires and fuel lines that I can get to are all gonna get new. I'm going to wire wheel the frame and all that kind of stuff, and then repaint it while it's there and make it all pretty underneath
Okay.
there and stuff like that. So,
Port 15.
yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do all that while it's there and it's off and it's accessible. It makes it a
Sorry.
whole lot easier and a whole lot better.
How about exhaust?
What about it?
You can do it?
No, I don't have a pipe bender.
No, but I mean, while the bed's off.
Oh, drive it over here.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It's super easy.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. Now you give me some. I'll probably drive it over here without a bed. And
Yeah. Yeah, just throw taillights in the back. They're plugged in and just tape them to the zip tie them to the frame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To that ugly bumper.
Yeah. The ugly bumper. You got to do something with that bumper too.
I know.
You don't ever want to do a roll pan, bumper delete and do the roll pan? We talked about that once a long time ago.
You know, and honestly, in the C10 world, and I didn't know this, they have a roll pan as
Cholo.
bumper. They are just very divisive. Some people love them. Some people hate them. Some people think they're an abomination. I'm indifferent to it. I really.
It depends on the utilitarian part of the truck. Is this going to be a streetable truck? Then you need a bumper because of safety. Are you going to take it anywhere where you need to pull anything, do anything, 4-wheel drive, something, whatever? Is it a show truck? I'll tell you what I believe roll pans go on. Chevy S10s.
Yeah.
Smaller trucks. Rangers, Mazda B2000s, 4000s. My Dodge Dakota. I could see something on smaller trucks. Bigger trucks, I think they look right with a bumper.
I don't dislike the roll pan look, but I think I like the bumper look better. So I think I'll go with a bumper.
Yeah.
Which sucks because the roll pans are so much cheaper.
They are tons cheaper. Tons cheaper. Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hopefully get that yanked tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm gonna try to pull it.
Oh, it's your day. Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna try to get pulled off tomorrow.
So, yeah. Well, listen, I'm really intrigued about. What am I intrigued about? Boy, I just brain farted. That was horrible. I started right in with something.
So I got a question. What about that 35 Chevy we got that came in?
36.
36 Chevy.
Yeah, he said it was a sedan, but it's a coupe.
Yeah,
Two-door.
yeah.
You saw that one? That's that 36 Chevy.
Ooh, she's
Yeah,
pretty.
that's got an LT1 in it. It's been in there for about 15 years. Things been sitting for a couple of years. He wants to sell it. We just got done doing his Corvette, that 72 small block, 4-speed Corvette, and he is going to sell that. We believe it's a $30,000 car. He wants us to go through this one, get it running again, and then giving him estimated value on it. He wants to sell it, and then he wants to come up and buy something new that's piques his interest on something. He started looking around the yard like I had stuff that he wanted to buy. Dude, this isn't a showroom.
Yeah.
This is just my backyard. So
money talks.
yeah, we got to get up on the rack tomorrow. He wants to look underneath and see what it is, but we haven't. It pushes heavy, but it's a good looking car.
It's so pretty. Like, I love that color. I love
Yeah.
everything about it. If it wasn't out of my price range, I'd
Yeah,
want it.
I walked in the other day. I was like, "What's with that?"
she's
the
a pretty
gangster-
girl.
And we
gangster
talked
mobile
about it.
over
We'll have a
there.
couple pictures up here, but we talked about it because, and then what I don't like is that the ass end just stops. The car just stops. You go to the back doors. It's suicide doors, but when you get past the doors, the quarter panels, it's literally as wide as this intersection of this cowl hood, and then it just stops. And I'm just not a fan of that. I want a big aluminum wing
You like
on the
big
back of it.
butts? You like
I
big
want a
butts?
big,
You cannot lie?
you want a big giant wing on there with aluminum slotted out arms that are holding it up there. Way big and ugly kind of thing.
What?
Yeah. Because there's nothing going on back there.
Some of them have tires back there, though, yeah? Or am I completely off?
No,
on here?
so not this
I
one
thought I
because
had
the
the
trunk has whatever, but there are these cars that have that big giant back bumper that holds extra spare tire and what, and they do have a name for that. I'm not going to know the name of it right now. You're going to find something about it and put it on somewhere or something. But
Or somebody's going to tell
they
us
do have them.
how
Yeah.
stupid we are.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. It's
Hey,
been
I
a
don't
long
know
week,
half
man.
of
I'm hot
what
and tired.
you guys are talking about. It's
Right over the head.
I'm learning.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
Learning.
You'll be surprised how much you pick up.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, man. Getting to see people come in with all their cars, their questions, not knowing what to do, thinking that we get to put an idea into their head that maybe gets a wheel spinning, that gets them motivated about doing their car. If they pull in there like, man, I really don't know what to do. I'm kind of on the fence. I have no idea. And we get excited about it. Maybe it makes them get excited about it. Yeah, let's do it. Maybe that's a great sell point. But we honestly want people to be in love with their cars.
Yeah,
I really do.
that's the goal.
I really do.
That's always the goal.
Well, how many cars do we see? We went to go pick up some stuff around the corner right off of Braybrook. Is a 73 Mustang. Ugly, man. 74, maybe even. It's white, sitting behind some bushes. But it's right there.
There's
Right.
a guy at work has like this awful yellowish white 74, 75, terribly ugly Mustang. He drives it every day to work.
Good. We talk about what is the insurance on this car.
That, it's such an ugly car though.
But you don't, it's paid for, and you don't have to worry about it really breaking or anything else, whatever. And if it does break, what, you're going to get out and find one of the 5 wires in the harness. I mean, it's just...
I think it's great. Look, we talked about it last week. That one lady in California, I said it was a Dodge Cornet, but it was actually a Pontiac something. But that's her daily driver. 60-something Pontiac.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. It don't have to have a 4-barrel. It don't have to have a big transmission or anything, whatever. It could just be totally stock. Something that got 14 miles to the gallon.
I would pick something nicer than those ugly-ass Mustangs, though.
Yeah.
What makes
But-
them so ugly to you?
Oh.
They're just longer in places they shouldn't be long.
It's
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's just it's like they ran out of ideas for this car and they didn't know where to go, and they just kind of somebody was looking at a Javelin magazine one day and then came in and drew the back half of a Javelin, and then they looked at the Mach 1 and they kind of put that front end on there, and they said, what about in the middle of it? Let's go with something Pinto-esque or something, and it just
You
doesn't
nailed it. It's like hodgepodge of design.
it does. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not fluent. It's like the 36 Chevy. It's like, what happened here?
Let's see, I like that.
Man, we're all designing, just doing great. All of a sudden, it's like, what? Well, the Mustang 2s are going for money now, man. They are.
Even the old Chargers are going for money. The ugly Chargers that everybody hated. What's it, 72, 71 Chargers that nobody ever liked? What was that? Yeah, the second-gen Chargers.
Yeah. 73s.
73, yeah. Nobody liked them.
Yeah.
They're going for 6 figures now.
Isn't that dumb?
People
It makes me not want to sell anything. I mean, my Dodge Dakota convertible. This is going to be a day that they're going to be up there. And
I don't think so. Not for that one.
No.
There, to me, like for it to be a big, desirable like 6-figure car in the future, there had to have been a moment in time where people desired that brand. Nobody ever desired a Dakota, of any of them.
Man.
Truth hurts.
Sad
Sometimes.
story. Look, you just busted his bubble all to hell.
No, I
So
think
sorry.
Wah, wah.
I think they're cool trucks for what they are. I don't think they'll ever be a 6-figure truck.
No, I don't know about 6-figure anything. I don't know that anything. I do have a couple cars that I know that we can get into the 6 figures pretty easily. That probably is not one of them.
No.
But is it something that, here again, I paid $2,000 for? That as I build and do and I put together and I enjoy, will I get my money back out of it? All day long.
The Dakota?
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. Throw a paint job on it and fix the top. Man,
Yeah.
It's like one of the coolest car show trucks.
Yeah.
People
Well,
are like, what
factory
the-
roll bar that you just
what
pull
is
the top
this?
down and go and hey, you put the top back up and it's on a pickup truck, man. I just find it pretty
I told
cool.
a couple of friends about a convertible Dakota from the factory.
Yeah.
They're like, I've never heard of such a thing.
Right.
See, that's the allure of it.
Yeah, that is the tease.
Yep.
Is that no, this is factory. But if you look at it, it literally looks like they had hard tops. They went in Elon Musk style and took a chainsaw and chopped that off right at the top A-pillar. I mean, it really is.
They pretty much did.
Yeah, it's not rounded off and smoothed and pretty. And
They didn't put a lot of thought in.
No, there's not even an end cap like you'd get on a piece of workout equipment where you get the plastic plug.
Now you put a big Hemi in there.
Well, I've got that.
That's gonna
I've
be
got
all
that.
kinds of fun.
I've got that NASCAR 780 horsepower Dodge motor sitting right there, but I think it's too big for all that.
That's too big.
Yeah.
You gotta get a regular 5.7 liter Hemi.
Yeah. I'm not a Dodge fan. I'm not a Hemi fan. I'm just not. I'm a GM guy.
You're a GM guy.
I'm a GM guy.
I am a Mopar guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, GM is my second pick. But
Yeah. No, Ford's. Look, they all the three big manufacturers. We love all of them because they are the ones that came in 100 years ago and made it and last. We had Packards, we had DeSotos, we had some, but they've all fell through. They're gone.
Yep.
So
Got the big three.
So these are what laid the imprint of all of this for everybody from way back 100 years ago to now. And I go back to Grease and these movies where they were literally hot rodding them and racing them and doing stuff way back in the 50s. They were trying to find a way to make 80 horsepower cool and fun. And they did.
Yeah. So speaking of, you'll never guess what I went and drove.
Like on a test drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ford Lightning.
Oh.
The EV Ford Lightning.
Oh.
Not the cool
Okay.
Ford Lightning from
Yeah.
the early 2000s.
So you went and test drove one? Now a friend has one or something? Or you went
No,
to a car lot?
Well, so I have a friend who's a salesman at the Ford dealership up here. And so I went and visited him, and they had a Ford Lightning. I was like, let's take this baby for a whirl. I will say it's...
And did you get to drive it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very cool.
Okay. Very fast.
All the little doohickeys and all the frunk was pretty awesome. So you open the hood, and there's no engine in there. And
Right.
Just I thought that was a little weird.
What, a trunk?
It's a frunk.
A front.
It's a front trunk, which was pretty cool. And on top of that, I think for here in Florida, you can actually use that thing. I'm sure everybody knows about it. But you can use it as a generator to power your house if you lose power.
What?
Yeah. Well, that was pretty snazzy. But get this, the pickup on the get up and go on that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
They really put you back in your seat. I was already
Yeah.
doing like 60 and I put it down and it still put me back in my seat.
Now, we talked about you because you've been in fighter jets.
Yeah.
So certainly no comparison to any of that kind of real thrust and stuff. But still,
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
for modern,
Tons of fun.
everything else.
Yeah. If it hadn't been a $90,000 truck, and if it had been if it had been more of a $40,000 truck, I could see myself owning one
So
because
you mean
I
all
don't.
I needed to do
Chris,
was spend
listen.
$30,000
See,
more.
I apologize to all you viewers right now. I believe I'm going to check his cup and see if he hasn't been drinking or been tainted by something.
And the
He
reason-
did not just say that he would buy a full-blown EV.
I would, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because for me, it
Yeah.
would be my only car.
Well, you're not taking a trip to Vegas in it. You're not driving to SEMA.
Nope. I'm just gonna have fun around here.
Yeah, you're
And that's what the government wants, right? That's what they all want. They you to stay that 300-mile marker.
I still have 3 other gas-powered cars and a motorcycle, so I don't
Yeah.
need it. I don't need it,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. And then,
You ever see an EV being in a lowrider?
Oh,
Can you imagine ever a 64 Impala, all choloed out? I mean, full lowrider that's got all electric.
I'm sure there will be one day.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's somebody we did a show months ago about EV conversions in classic cars. People are taking. There was a 57 Bel Air. Somebody put an EV in.
Yeah, that's right.
EV
Yeah.
motor in it.
Yeah, and real quick, this is Clay. He is. You're 15, right? Yes. Yeah. So Clay is 15, and he's just in here observing today. He has come. His dad Ken works for Dolphin Auto and Collision, and he's here on what's called early spring break. He decided to come down for a week from New York, and he is a huge car guy and wanted to sit on the podcast. He's been throwing information to us the whole show because he's not sitting there on his phone looking us up. No. He knows this. He walks in there to people at their cars, and they'll start talking like they know something, and then this little kid comes in. Green, wet behind the ears, whatever, starts talking. No, that Google him. Check. Holy shit, the kid's right, man. What else do you know? And it's just, I love that there's, the schoolwork and everything else, but he already knows where he's going to be in his niche. And you said you've got a 70 what? What year is your B200 or B2000?
It's 84.
A 1984 first year B2000, and you've torn the bed off it.
Within 24 hours, I have the entire thing stripped to just a frame.
Cab off. Everything out.
Everything's out of it.
Yeah. And you're going to redo this truck.
Within
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's impressive.
Now,
The next generation. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
The next generation of,
Yeah.
of car enthusiasts.
yep. I don't know how much you can be heard real quick, but give me your top 3 cars that if money didn't matter, what'd you want to get?
56 Chevy Bel Air.
56 Chevy.
I want a 48 coupe. Ford.
Yeah, the Ford 48 Coupe.
48 Ford.
Yep.
Of course, you have to have a Ford. And don't hate me for this. I want a 70 Challenger.
We don't hate you for that, man. We talked about the Nova, right? Lucy, right? No, he loves Lucy, but
How about this? I have a 56 Chevy. So
yep. I got the 57.
Lucy over it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got that from my father-in-law. Well, it's not mine. It's
Not
my
yet.
wife's.
Right.
It's my wife.
And it hasn't come yet.
No, well, I'm keeping it in the desert until I'm ready for it,
Okay.
so it don't rust. It won't
Yeah.
rust out there.
No.
It might
Nope.
be shot.
No, it'll be all
Over
right.
the desert.
They do shoot them out there. That's kind of funny. Well, we're trying a few different things, man, and normally wait a couple weeks between a show, but we want to get back here. Stephanie's new to us, and we want to work with her and get out there. So this may be a show that maybe should end up on the chopping room floor, but we're gonna make something of it and have fun with it and see what happens with it. Goes.
I think most of our shows should end up on the chopper room floor.
No, I do go back to the beginning of the show real quick, and I do want to hear from you all. We always want you to like, subscribe, do all this stuff, everything else. But I want to know the question of the day. Hello, boys and girls. The question of the day is, what made you pull out of a sale, a buy? I want to know that you were going to buy something classic, and you pulled out of it. Why? I want to know. So throw me a comment on there and let us know. Because
We don't
it's
mean
too
classic
cool.
by all the forever classics, right? We're talking about
No.
some from the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Ford probes are getting popular again. I don't think they were ever popular, but they're getting popular now. It was a big deal when I was in high school. But the probe, fun fact, did you know when they came out with the Ford probe, I think in the 90s, they designed that to replace the Mustang. They had intentions
Didn't work?
to replacing the Mustang with the Ford probe.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work out.
Nope.
Not at all.
I don't know whose idea that was.
That they tried to replace the old ones with
What's that?
the EV Mustang.
Oh,
Oh, the Mach-E.
They should have never even used that. So I have a problem with the Mach-E being called a Mustang. Just the same like I had the Ford Lightning now being called a Lightning. They should have named it something else because the
Absolutely.
Lightning
It
you had
doesn't
the
look the same.
Yeah, you did have a Lightning truck, and it's not the same.
It was
and,
a hot rod truck,
right.
You know,
But they're going with high energy, electric.
I get
Electric.
it.
Yeah, but they should have thought about that. Well, here again, I mean,
And
that
that
was
was
the
still-
predecessor way before.
and that was still Ford.
Yeah.
Ford's dropping the ball on naming cars. No
Yeah.
imagination.
Nope.
Ford CEO, fire your naming guy.
All right. Well, everybody, hey, thanks for tuning in. This is American Car Classics Radio Podcast. As I said earlier, this is Chris, and I'm Kenny, and that's Stephanie, and we appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us today, chiming in.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
let
Hit
it-
all the buttons and do all the stuff.
Yeah, let us know what you think. All right. Y'all take care and stay safe, and God bless, okay?
Bye, guys.